Hey, this is the Ed Brown Show, and we got some exciting guests coming up. Ms. Coney, and we got the councilman from District 4. He's won the county council, and then he used to be a Bowie City Council. Now he's going to bring some new ideas, and also we have a young lady travel, Miss Connie, where she's going to talk about, hey, most of us, when we talk about jobs, we want to know, first of all, how much you pay. Those days are over. 9 to 5, you got to get into the economy of this country. And I'm talking to all the young people out there. You can do it. And when you get ready to travel, what you do, you get a regular travel person to give you the highlights of where you want to go. Because when you go there and you don't know much about it, hey, you waste your money. Okay, see you in a second. Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And you know what? We have Mr. Todd Turner, the newly elected Democratic councilman. I mean, this young man here, he's on the Bowie Council. Now, he doesn't have enough to do, so he decided to run for the county council. Welcome, Todd, to the Ed Brown Show.
Ed, it's always a pleasure to be back. I appreciate the opportunity to come back on. I know I was with you before the election, and you were the first one after the election. So
right.
It's my
But the thing, that's fantastic. I always see you operate. You know, I watch the council meetings on TV, you know, and I said, well, Todd is getting them straight, say, you know.
Well, I find two people who watch our city council meetings, you know, either online or on cable. Those who have a sincere interest in how the city is run, and those who can't fall asleep.
Right.
So.
No ones that can't fall asleep, but actually, it's really great to see young men like you, get involved in the city and the state and government, because this is what we need. We need young men to get involved, physically, and mentally, and because it's so many things that have to be done that haven't done. People are enjoying it now. They say, well, all of that, the preparation the things that they're enjoying, that somebody earlier.
Yep. And listen, we all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us.
Right.
And my decision to run for the county council to represent District 4, which includes Bowie, Greenbelt, parts of Glendale, parts of Upper Marlboro, was based on the fact that I had done my service already.
Right.
I've been on the city council for 8.5 years now, and so I was ready for that next challenge.
Yes, right. And so the next thing will be president of the United States.
It is funny, I mean, directly right after the primary back in June, people were already asking me, what's the next thing you're going to do? And I was like, I haven't done anything yet. I haven't gotten in office.
You have done something. You've done things to impress people, and the things that you've done in those 8 years, other people are benefiting from it.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I've committed myself to public service, and I think one of the reasons why I did so well, obviously in the Democratic primaries, because people knew me and the work that I had done, and so I think that was a factor in the victory, at least in the primary. Obviously, we still have a election in November, and so I'm seeking everybody's support for that as well. And then if I'm fortunate in November, then I get an opportunity to get sworn in December of this year and start, in January pretty much working.
Well, because there's so many things on the table, and Prince George County now is on the brink of a lot of FBI, the hospital, there's so many different things. And then what they're trying to do too is revamp the metro stations. commercially,
right.
you know, in Prince George's County. And that's going to be a problem, because what happens along those lines is that you have individuals that are around Metro now that are single family, or either they're not the type of businesses you feel that, you know, will attract people.
Right. Yeah, and that's the balance we have to have. You know, it's like, for me, it's going to be the changing my perspective. Obviously, being a local or municipal elected official, you know, and obviously being Bowie, the largest jurisdiction, municipal jurisdiction in the county, but now going to the county level, not only for my district, which includes, you know, the city of Greenbelt, which is the next largest municipality, but also a more expansive view of where the county's going, and working with my future colleagues on the county council in order to address some of those, you know, major things that are coming down the pike.
No.
And so, having been part of that process, at least on the staff level and at the municipal level, you know, I feel confident that we can work together to achieve those things. It's going to be a lot of hard work.
That's what I mean. That's a lot of hard work, because the fact that Prince George's has been behind in this thing. Economically, this is what we have to think in terms of.
Right.
We have to think in terms. I was reading one of those business magazines. They were just listing certain corporations and all that had minorities involved with them, you know, that all of us use. You know, we don't realize that, you know, these different corporations, what you want to do, you want to put pressure on them as getting involved in the CEO position.
Right.
Always think in terms of when they say, well, we're going to have, like with the, what is it, the harbor, you know, they promised a lot of things, but see, I've heard people talk about the job level is on a low level, you know, and and those are things that the county council and all.
I mean, obviously with National Harbor and MGM coming in, the county council just approved both the site plan for that, as well as what we call the community benefit agreement, which is the agreement of what benefits they're going to provide the community, whether it's jobs creation, business creation, use of services from residents and businesses within the county. And so one of the things, since that agreement has already been negotiated, the big thing will be the oversight function of the county council, making sure those goals are actually met as part of that agreement. So that's a big opportunity. Obviously, we just got notification about the FBI, potentially the General Services Administration narrowed the sites that they're considering to 3 sites. 2 of those are in Prince George's County. One of them is in the district that I would represent in Greenbelt. And so that's going to be a major effort for us to get that major federal client to come in.
And really, the idea too is get involved in it economically. You know, young people job offers. See, we want some of those CEO positions. You know, positions. Not, you know, I don't know. I've had input from people in National Harbor. Some of the people feel that they were left out there.
For the Gaylord part, when we went through the Gaylord situation.
Yeah,
no, I understand. I think as a county we've learned from that experience as well, and I think you know, the proof is going to be in the pudding. Obviously, MGM has made certain representations, signed the agreement, and agreed to the agreement about what they're going to do. They do have a good track record. That's one of the things. In other parts of the country, excuse me. And so, you know, we're looking forward to that. That's going to be another.
To make sure that happens. You know, talking about one thing and then going to fruition, it's different. Especially when you have elections involved too, where you have different people have different ideas coming into office. And see, and I think that's one of the major items people thought about. You said, this guy's on the ball. He's thinking of the future and thinking of the young people, because that is the future.
Yeah, I would say this. You know, right after the primary, obviously we had the passing of Wayne Curry. You know, the first African American county executive, and in some ways, you know, he's the leadership that we have come from. And so whether it's Rashawn Baker, myself, or other members of the county council, the state delegation, we've all profited from, you know, that, you know, breaking of the barrier, so to speak. And so you know, it's us as the next generation of leadership.
Well, that's what I'm speaking about. And young people, they look at that. They say, well, what's in the future? You tell me, get an education, you know, get a degree and everything. I go and get all those things, and I end up with a house note, you know, paying,
Right.
and then I can't find a job on the level
Right.
that I think I should be on.
Right. Yeah, I think, you know, one of the main focuses that I will have, and the county has had, I think over the last 4 years at least, is have that focus on economic development. And that's part and parcel of one,
Right.
public safety, people feeling safe in their communities. Two, improving our education system. You know, both of my daughters attend public school here in Prince George's
That's it.
County. So I, you know, have skin in the game, as they
Right.
say, to make sure our system improves. So everybody can benefit from some of the
Okay.
things that are coming down the
Okay,
pike.
we got to wrap it up, but I'm telling you, you know, I told you before you I ran for office, I said you're coming back after you win. See, I had very
Glad you're
confidence.
Yes.
Because this we need young men, and I appreciate you taking the time and coming on the show.
Right.
And the things that Prince George's County, with you behind them, we will be successful. This has been Ed Brown. Hey, we got 2 more guests. See you in a second. Hi, welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And I tell you, we have Rochelle Sultan, right? I say, I asked her basically, I said, hey, what is that? And you said that's Nigerian, right?
It's of Nigerian descent.
Nigerian,
yes.
yeah. So originally you were from Nigeria, then you came to great Prince George's County, and you wrote this book. This book is terrific, Diffusion for the Heart, Mind, and Soul. What inspired you to write Tuesday Morning Love? And why Tuesday morning?
Well, originally I'm from Boston, so I'm American. Sultan is my married name. And Tuesday Morning Love is a book of inspiration that derived from my blog. I have a blog. Tuesday Morning Love has been up for 5 years now. And it is literally a well of inspiration and a source to empower people through the challenges and adversities of life. So I use my voice as power to help others. So.
You use your voice?
Yes, my writing voice.
Oh, your writing voice. I was going to tell you, give an example of how you do that.
Yes.
But anyway, what inspired you to write a book of this nature?
I have been writing for well over 30 years.
So that's
So I am a writer by nature. I'm a poet, and it took me a very long time to discover my voice of what I should be specifically writing about. Well over 20 years to discover that. Well into adulthood and into my 30s, I discovered that I was not alone in my challenges, be they parenthood, marriage, divorce, employment. You know, everybody has lost something. So everybody can kind of relate to loss in some form or another. And I discovered that writing about things that were empowering and inspiring to people, that was my gift. So that inspired this book specifically.
All the time now. Give us your background. I see a lot of things here. I don't know where to start.
Well, my background is vast. I am an author, writer, columnist, etiquette coach, global activist for women and girls. So I do a lot of mentorship things, mentoring programs.
Is that for male and females or both?
Both, actually. Okay. I teach children ages 6 through collegiate. I have a 14-module training program in my etiquette academy. And as an author, I just continue to inspire young people to write what they feel.
Well, how do you do that? You know, young people, with all the gadgets and things that are going around, you know, just how do you do it? Electronics, you know, every time you look around, there's something new coming around. How do you get that attention?
Well, I think we definitely have evolved as a world. Electronics can be used, and social media can be used for good. We might as well take advantage of it while we have it. As an etiquette coach, I believe that writing is a lost art.
Yes.
People just don't write letters
Right.
anymore. They don't
You text.
write things down on paper.
Grandchildren
So
call me a square because we text. So what's that, you know?
so everything is electronic. So
Yeah.
I try to get people to go back to that. Writing is a basic necessity of life.
And how do you do that? You know, you just can't tell a 16, 15-year-old, you know, to write something, you know. How do you go about getting them interested?
Well, it starts with just writing down what you feel. You don't have to be a writer or an author to write something impactful. You just speak from the heart. So the goal of writing is to get your thoughts from your head and your heart to the paper. So that is the starting point.
And how do you get them into the mode of doing that? It's with all the competition you have now today.
Well, that can be done through a number of platforms.
Right.
Poetry is one. You'll find that many students and young people really do have a passion for poetry. They love to write. And so creating these kinds of workshops and forums for them
that's the key.
Is a platform.
The workshops.
Yes.
That's how do you get them to the workshop?
Well, 3 years ago, I incorporated into my etiquette program a training module for journaling, specifically for journaling. And I started teaching young ladies how to journal their thoughts.
Wow. Young lady, you started with the young ladies.
I started with young ladies. My program started with young ladies.
So what are you planning to do later, you know, with this book? You going to write another one or just...
Well, Tuesday Morning Love has 3 volumes.
Wow.
Now, 2 more volumes emerging over the next several years. I have no idea where this platform is going.
Well, tell us where you're going next and wrap it up. We got about 2 minutes.
Well, I'm presently working on my memoir. It's called Bridges. That will be releasing in early 2015. And I will continue to write the blog and continue inspiring people. It's what I love to do.
Yeah, well, I love the fact that you're mentoring the young ladies to really get involved in the writing and everything. Well, you keep up the good work, I tell you. And this is available on your website, right? What do you call it? Tuesday Morning Love.
Tuesday Morning Love.
Wow.
The book.
Hey, I'll tell you, that'll get your attention. Tuesday Morning Love. What happened to those other days?
Well, see, that's the beautiful thing. This book and the blog is applicable to any day of the week. The ebook can be found on Amazon.com. Tuesday Morning Love, 52 commentaries and weekly affirmations to honor the soul.
Why not Friday?
Oh, Tuesday is my favorite day of the week now.
I see.
And to give you just a quick background, this started with an inspirational message that was sent to me on a Tuesday 5 years ago.
No kidding.
And
I knew it was something.
I wanted to spread the love, and I just every Tuesday thereafter, I found myself sending out an inspirational article, and it evolved into Tuesday Morning Love.
And Tuesday Morning Love.
Yes.
Hey, you heard it here at the Brown Show. Fantastic.
Yes.
Keep up the good work. And that mentoring, I think that's great. And getting the young people involved away from those electronics is another very, very positive thing. Yeah. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
When you come back, you've got to write something about the weekend.
I will. I shall.
This has been Ed Brown. Hey, we got another guest coming up. Don't go away. Hi, welcome back to the Ed Brown Show. All right, there we have Julia Coney. I mean, she's a writer, travel writer, and a beauty. Now, this young lady, this is what we need examples of. What she decided, she had one 9-to-5 job, but entrepreneurship is so very important. And this is what we're trying to steer the young people, and Julia is doing a great job. Tell us about that. You know, people think, you know, that it's easy. You just decide, say, I'm gonna quit my job and all and go and be an entrepreneur.
it's not easy, but it's worth it if you really work hard enough. That's the one thing I found out. For me, I had a really good job, and I didn't not like my job, but I found something I love to do. And once I found something that I love to do that made my heart sing every time I woke up, it was all I could think about was writing my blog. I decided to figure out a way how to make that into a career and into a lifestyle.
Right.
Because I wanted to work from anywhere in the world.
Right.
That was my point.
Hey, that's it. And having that idea with the travel, you learn so much and you pick up so many new ideas.
And you learn a lot about yourself. I think the first time I ever left the country, I went to study in Paris by myself. So I didn't know one person.
Went to Paris by yourself?
Went to Paris, went to study, and I traveled, and that opened my eyes that I was very resilient. I had to learn to be by myself. I had to learn to eat by myself. I met really great people that I'm still
What about
great
the language over there?
Well, I went to study. I spoke a little of the language, but I went to study, but I embraced the culture. I embraced the lifestyle. It was a very slower pace. It's very different. A lot of things are closed on Sunday. So really, you just have to be able to wing it and enjoy life. And when I came back.
But the adjustment that you made, that's important.
The adjustment was harder when I came back. I remember crying on the plane. I didn't want to come home. And home was in Houston. I was in Texas. And I just realized, like, okay, maybe I like Texas, but maybe I wanted to move somewhere else. And then I decided on a whim to move to D.C. And I moved to D.C. not knowing one person. And I just wanted to embrace living in a different place. And like I said, I liked my job, but I didn't love it. And once I started the blog in 2006, after my brother passed away, one of my brothers passed away, I realized I had a voice. People were coming to the sites to read what I had to say. And I kept traveling. And I kept, opening people and myself up to new experiences. That's what travel does.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, tell us some of the places you've been.
I've been to
travel writer and some of the experiences.
Italy, Belize. One of my favorite places was actually going to the World Cup in South Africa with my then boyfriend, now husband, and we went to Egypt before the uprising.
No kidding.
So we were able to see Egypt and see all the pyramids and the tomb, everything. And once you go to a place that you've read about in books, that you've only seen on TV, but you're actually standing there, your whole perspective of the world changes. You realize how really the world is big, but it's actually very small.
How do you, excuse me, how do you deliver that to young people to get involved in something new? Most of the young people, they don't even want to leave home sometime when they're 30, after school and everything, they're still at home.
I think they don't want to leave because it's fear. It's just fear of what's going to happen. And if they don't have an example of someone else leaving that they really know, that is very hard. So it's exposure. So I hope, like with my writings and even in my own family, like I encourage my nieces and nephews, see the world. You have all the time in the world to do a lot of other things. You have all the time in the world to have a fancy car, a fancy house, travel, and more than likely, you're going to get that bug. And it's going to keep you traveling. And it's going to keep you exploring. And then it becomes part of your lifestyle. And you can't.
And it's education.
It's education.
It's education you can't get from a book.
Yeah, you can't get it from a book. And a lot of times people worry about the language barrier. But if you can say basic phrases, hello, thank you, good night. You don't need to know the entire language. And also hand symbols work very well, pointing and I'm hungry. People get that. And I've met really, really great people traveling all over.
That's what I mean, is that the culture, and when you read something, that's somebody else's view of things. But when you actually go to these places and write about it, it makes a big difference. I travel a lot too. When I was I'm a research chemist, and I travel all around the world. But I just said there's so many things that you need exposure to that young people don't have now.
It's funny because I remember reading James Baldwin, Giovanni's Room, and and all the black literati that was in Paris. That was part of made me want to go to Paris at first. And once you've gone and you're like, oh, I can do this. I can go and see here. I can go and enjoy this, and I'm happy. It made just the whole desire to travel just more profound in my life.
Well, tell us some of the programs that you have.
Well, some of the programs I also do, what I do is coaching, and I actually talk to people about creating their life as a lifestyle, not just existing, which may be that 9-to-5 job that they really don't like, but how, we talk about how to create your own lifestyle. So maybe if you want to live like me, mobile and global, you can do that. And I also lead a beauty tour to Paris because I love Paris so much and I write about beauty.
Oh, yeah.
I take women on a beauty trip, a shopping trip in Paris every October. Yes.
You be going in October?
October 8th through the 13th.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you better talk to Miss Conway. I tell you. You're going to Paris.
We're doing Paris. We're doing a beauty tour. We're doing a perfume making class, a champagne tasting, a cabaret dinner. We're going to see a cabaret. We're going to meet a perfumer. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a different experience of Paris.
Yeah, right.
And it'll be time to, for sightseeing and cultural excursions.
And what other programs are you working with?
Well, that's one of the main programs.
That's the main one.
That's the main one right now. Trying to that and also the coaching and the mentoring. I like young people.
What about the mentoring? That I love that. Mentoring anything is good.
I want people to understand that you may come from, you need to get the job. And in this area, get the job and retire in 30 years.
Yeah,
that may not work in this world, in
Right.
this economy anymore. So the world now, you can create your opportunity. And it will take hard work. You will work harder for yourself than you've ever worked for anyone else. But the reward is far greater.
Yeah. Well, how do you get the young people involved in something like that? Most of them, they want money every time they turn around, instead of gaining the experience.
I think right now everything is so fast. Everything's moving so fast. Information's so fast. Everything's coming so fast, and they haven't really realized that sometimes slow and steady wins the race. So we have to make them understand that money can come, but right now, what skills do you have? What opportunity is staring you in the face, and just taking time to grow as a person. And a lot of times we don't understand that growth is a process. You can't have everything right now. Because some people are just blessed with an opportunity that you may not be blessed with.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you can't do what you want. They just may be able to do it faster because of that. But you can create your own opportunity.
And what do you find? Generally, the male or female are susceptible to your concept?
Young women. And when I say young women, I mean that between the ages of 25 and 35, because they realize they're out of college and they're in jobs that they really went to school for, and maybe their family told them they were good at, but they really don't like it.
Right. How many people are on jobs right now that they don't like? They're doing it because of economics. It pays well.
It pays
the first thing that a person wants to know, how much they're going to get paid. But the satisfaction comes when you're doing something, like you're saying, that's very positive and that you enjoy.
Because also you have to look at, maybe the reward is not in the money. The reward is in the experience.
Right.
I made very good money, but I didn't have a lot of experience because of that. But the experience of now being able to say, okay, I want to spend a month in Paris next year. And let's see how that's going to happen. And I don't have to worry about saying, oh, well, do I have the time off? Do I have to get it approved?
Do I have annual leave?
Do I
get approval?
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's great, and teaching young people to think that way is very positive and different.
And also to read. I think our young people don't read enough. I think we need to read.
That's one of my
I
things.
think everyone needs to read. When I talk to young people and they tell me, because people might say, I want to be an entrepreneur, the first thing I ask, what do you read?
Right.
What do you read?
Okay, then. That's your major thing. That's what you have coming up.
That's what I have
in the future.
In the future.
Reading. Hey, you know about reading. Fantastic. I really enjoy your concept and making young people look at the world differently than 9 to 5. They're in the 9 to 5 group, because their family's in it. But do things that you like and do positive things, because, hey, you only go around once. This has been Ed Brown. See you next time.
You can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.